we now have our bird cut into our 8 bone-in pieces with the long back removed. However, you are not done yet. What you need to do is you need to get cleaned up and displayed for judging by the judges. We are going to take, and using our clean bucket, we are going to first wipe our board down thoroughly, making sure that we have removed all of that board rub that I was talking about earlier, that debris. I'm going to do a quick wipe around, making sure we picked it all up. Then we are going to come back with our sanitation and sanitize our board to make sure that we have a nice, clean, sanitary space in which to display. And, of course, at that point, we are going to put our clean and our sani bucket back down below the table because we don't leave them on the surface when we're working. We are then going to take and lay our pieces out for display. We are going to start with our breasts. We will lay those out as they came off the bird. We will take our wings and lay those with our breasts. We will take our legs and our thighs and we will place our long back, and we will place our usable waist. This makes it very easy for the judge who is going to judge your product to look at it, to check it. One thing I didn't mention before that I need to, you really want to try and keep the leg and thigh sections together, because what the judge is going to do is the judge is going to compare the separation of the joints. From a judging standpoint, to judge this product, I have watched your complete process. I've watched how you stood. I've watched how you held your knife, how you used your knife, which tools you have used when, because you should be using the proper tools, you should be using the proper stance, and you should be using the proper amount of pressure. If the knife is too dull and you have to bear down too much, then you're going to slip and you're going to injure yourself. You want to have safe equipment. Now I'm going to look at the quality of your cuts themselves. I'm going to take a look at each of your legs, and I'm going to look at this joint. I'm going to see if there is any red showing here. If there is just a slight tawny red, it's probably not a problem, because that simply means that the cap, this white right here, is a cap that's over the actual bone. And that cap sometimes pops loose in the process of separating that joint. That's not an issue. On the other hand, if I have a dark red core, that means we have cut the bone. That is a major error, because then we have separated the legs, tendons, and the meat will stretch down. We no longer have an attractive piece. So I'm looking for this nice, clean separation. I'm looking at both ends of the thigh, the end that came away from the leg and the end that came away from the back. I'm looking to see if I have a nice wing piece here, or if I left a lot of meat on this piece of the back. This should be as little meat as possible back here, because that meat is to be here. This is money. We sell chicken by weight. We sell to the customer by the size and the greatness of that piece. We don't want to leave it here going into the stock pot. We want it here going onto the plate for the guest. I would look at the other one in the same fashion and the other leg in the same fashion. For the wings, I'm looking for the same thing, making sure that we have good separation between the wing and the breast at that joint. Again, no red. No indication that we have split a bone. Do we have good contact skin? Now, what do we mean by that? You can see that on this, the skin does not completely cover the breast of the bird. That's a natural occurrence. And a judge is not going to judge you down because you don't have a full, complete flesh covering here. That's a property of the bird. What would be judged down was if there was a miscut and there was a slit in that skin. Or if in the process of handling it, that skin becomes loose from the bird. You can see this skin is attached. That skin should be attached to the bird. It should not be loose. It should not be off. It should be attached, and it should not be split in any manner. Also, we should have as close to an even split as possible. And you can see that I did not achieve an absolute perfect split. I'm very close, but I have slightly more of that cartilage over here than I do here. But you want to be as close as possible. You don't want to be on one side or the other, and that is part of the judging. We also are looking at how much of the backbone has been left on the breast of the chicken itself. It should be no more than what we have right here. There should be none of the major backbone or the really stiff backbone pieces coming out attached to it. We also, of course, would look at the other wing and the joint and the skin on that breast. We would look at how that is formed and how we've separated there. Did we achieve this keel bone coming down right here, or pardon me, the pulley bone coming down right here? Did we achieve that staying attached and not standing up loose because we allowed our knife to get away from us? Have we retained the proper items, and is our usable waste that we came up with minimal? We removed what we needed to make the pieces as nice as possible, but we have not created excess waste that can't be used later. Competition is about a lot of things. There's a lot of pieces to it. There's a lot of aspects to it. It depends on your ability as an individual to perform a task and to perform it well. But it also depends upon your ability as an individual to perform well within the team. In this particular competency, each individual score for each one of the team members is then added together, and that's averaged for a team score. So in order for a team to do well in this portion of the competition, every member of the team needs to do well in this portion of the competition. This is the standard for National Pro Star competition. There are many ways to do almost anything in culinary, but there are always standards established that we have to achieve, and that is the point here. These are the cuts that are required. I encourage you to listen to your teachers, listen to your mentors. These people are working to help you, and most of all, practice.